Congratulations. Hey, I'm good. We'll go ahead and get started with Indiana's press conference, which features Coach Terry Morin, Sydney Parrish, and Yarden Gerzone. And Coach, if you would go ahead and make an opening statement, and then we'll move it on to questions for the student athletes.
Well, it was a great first game, for us today. I thought, we a month ago or so when we went out to Oregon, did not play our best. We knew there were a couple categories that we had to win today. I thought our turnovers stayed low, which was going to be important. Our ability to rebound the ball was going to have to be there as well. On a game where there was a lot of funkiness with the fouls called and us having to play small and play without two of our fives, I thought Faith came in as a freshman and did some really great things. Just kind of helped us hang on until we could get to the fourth. Yarden obviously got herself in some foul trouble too. And so, being without her, somewhat always a challenge, not having her on the floor. But I thought Lexi Bargerser came in and did a great job of helping, particularly in the first half. So did a lot of really good things today. Really happy for our group. This is, like I said, it's not very often that you have an opportunity to get a do-over. And, for us, we had that opportunity today. And I loved how our kids came out and fought for 40 minutes.
Okay, let's go ahead and open it up for questions for the student athletes. We'll start on the left side, and then someone on the right side. If they want the next question, raise your hand, and we'll keep it going.
Todd Golden with Hoosiers on SI. Sydney, the defensive effort off the top of the game, Oregon had 7 turnovers, I think, in the first 5 minutes. What was the defensive plan, and from your point of view, how did you guys kind of embrace the execution of it?
We definitely executed, I think, amazing on the defensive end. We knew they were bigger than us in some aspects, so we needed to a couple times throw second bodies at their post players, but it was an emphasis this week going into the Big Ten tournament. Just defense helps our offense, and I think that we really bought into that this week before coming here. And I think it showed today. And we knew we had to throw the first punch, have the most energy. We had an amazing crowd of Hoosier fans, and I think they helped us also on the defensive end. So we just threw the first punch right out the gate and never let up.
Go ahead.
Lou Friedman from the Seymour Tribune for Yarden. Did you get mad at all early in the game when you woke up and they had all those fouls on you? You're smiling right now. But did you feel that at all? I mean, a little irritable, a little frustrated by the way it was going there and how you could break out of it?
I mean, I want to be on the court to help my teammates. I want to be there to help my team. And maybe I didn't agree with some of the fouls, but that's fine. That's part of the game. Yeah, I know. Sometimes. But I just want to be out there to help my team to win, so it's always frustrating to watch the game from the bench.
Seth Tao with the Daily Hoosier. Sydney, what was it like for you playing your old team here in Indy, and how badly did you want another crack at them after the way the game went in Eugene?
It's always fun, getting to compete against your old team. I think a lot of transfers feel that sometimes, but it's nice to be able to come to Indy and play it. I'm from Indy, so it was kind of like, it just felt good to play. My last game against Oregon felt like home. It felt like a Hoosier crowd, and that was really fun. But it was just a good feeling to get another crack at them, mostly because we watched the game that we played at Oregon, and we were very, very poor defensively, offensively, turnovers. And it was a big emphasis in the fourth quarter in Eugene. We turned it over, I think it was 10 times in the fourth, and we only turned it over 1 time in the fourth today. So just watching back this week the film when we played at Oregon, and it was just so sad seeing how bad we played, so we knew that we were going to come out and play much better. So I knew we would get them the second time.
Second row.
Zion Brown, IUWBB. Sydney, you kind of talked about how your defense kind of fed into your offense today, and it felt like a lot of those outlet passes that you guys had were an emphasis for you guys. Just what does it do for you when you're getting out quickly on offense and getting earlier shots in the shot clock?
It helps us tremendously. We always say we're best when we're playing fast, getting the ball out fast and hitting it ahead, and I think we had 20 points off their turnovers, and that just shows how handsy we were on the defensive end, and then we're executing on the offensive end then. So that really helped us.
Sydney, Mike Nizick from the Bloomington Herald-Times. Can you talk about the challenge of what Faith had to face today? Only had played 8 minutes the last 2 months, played 10 minutes today. What's that like from a player's perspective, and how are you kind of able to, when you look up in the second quarter, the veterans in the third quarter, to try to kind of keep everything emotionally stable when you guys are missing so many key pieces?
Of course. I mean, I think Faith has stayed ready all year. I think she's always the first player in the gym every single day. Even though she doesn't play most games, she is still working out every single day, working on her craft, getting better, and she's taking the responsibility of, hey, maybe I won't get in a lot of these games, but I'm still going to be prepared, be ready, and step up when it's needed. And you never know when your number's going to be called. We had really bad foul trouble with our fives today, but she came in. I think she was a little scared at first, but she boxed out, rebounded, had 2 charges. She was a crucial part in our win today, especially because Oregon's interior game is so tall. So I was super proud of her, and I think we all were surrounding her in the right moments, and I think she started to calm down coming into the second half, and she did an amazing job for us, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
Okay, we got time for 2 more for the players. Go ahead.
Skip Daly with South Central Indiana News. Congratulations on the win. Yarden, Oregon crawled back within about 5, I think, with about 6 or 7 minutes left in the game. What really sparked you guys out on the floor to be able to turn it up and to keep moving forward and to grow the lead?
I feel like we all remembered what happened last game. In the last quarter, we didn't do a good job, and we kind of lost our head, and we wanted to fix that today and come out different. And I feel like we all felt the urge to win this game. We want to keep playing. We want to play with our seniors. We love our seniors, and we want to keep playing with them. And I feel like it was a good do-over for us from last game.
Dave Reinhardt, WCBK Radio. Sydney, you mentioned you wanted to punch him in the mouth after the situation in Oregon. You were one of 3 players that played 34, 35, 36 minutes. Did you notice them wearing down at the end, and your thoughts on how the game ended here this afternoon?
Yeah, I think we've been trained all year. We sometimes have a short bench, and we play our starting 5 plays really high minutes, and I think we've trained ourselves and conditioned ourselves throughout the season to be able to play those high minutes and be able to beat teams in the fourth quarter, and we pride ourselves on that. I mean, we beat them. That was the biggest lead we had in the fourth quarter. So, I think we did start to wear them down, and when we saw that they kind of took a step back in the fourth quarter, we started running even harder and started getting downhill and starting to get to the free throw line. And I think that was what we kept saying when we got in the middle of huddles. We're like, we need to keep running on them. Don't let them get back in it. So, yeah.
All right, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys are dismissed. Let's raise our hands for questions for Coach Moore, and we'll start on this side and then work our way over there into the middle. Go ahead.
Ryan Canfield, Indiana Daily Student Coach. Just wanted to ask how you say you always have to bring, right over here.
Where we at?
Right
Sorry,
here.
I couldn't find you. My bad.
You always talk about how you have to practice how you play. You got to bring it every time you're on the floor, but inside the hall or not. But today felt different. How does that help you in game, and how is that going to help you tomorrow?
Well, again, a lot of things have to travel. And even though, some might say that this is sort of like a home game for us just because, of our fans being able to come and watch us. But, defensively, all of your defense has to travel, your offensive execution has to travel. You have to be able to have laser focus on not just the game plan, but defensively, but also offensively in terms of how we feel like we can take advantage of the opponent and score. Somebody had asked about our pace. I thought the pace we needed to play at today needed to be far greater than it was in Oregon. Just, again, watching it, very sluggish. I don't know if it was the travel. We can't make excuses for that. But, I do think we are better when we're hitting the ball ahead and we're playing fast. We're sharing the ball. I thought Shea came out. I think she had 11 points in the first quarter. She was very aggressive. And so that's what we wanted our guys to do. We wanted them to play fast, but we also wanted them to be very aggressive today.
Willfully inside the hole. Terry, you look back the game in Eugene, then Yarden kind of touched on this, but have you seen the resilience and comfortability in these late game situations with this team grow over the past couple months and throughout the season?
Well, she has a lot to do with it. Sid has a lot to do with it. When they started sort of squeezing into our lead, Sid hit that big shot in the corner. Yarden comes off of just an easy pin down screen and hits a big three to, continue to help us get some separation. So in those moments, you have to have a lot of guts to be able to take big shots. And, especially when teams start coming back catching up, right? And you're only maybe have that 5-point lead or 10-point lead. It's like you want to keep, building it, but you have to have the players to be able to stick shots, when needed. And, again, I thought, I thought Lexi was so good in the first half too. We got into foul trouble and had to sit Yarden a lot. So it came from a lot of different people today. Lily came in, gave us great minutes. We've already talked about Faith, but Strip. That really put us at a disadvantage from a size. But then we decided we were going to play small. Which probably helped us too because we became even more aggressive. We could run our motion because we have 4 guards out there, which was kind of fun to do too. We don't play that way very often.
Okay, we're going to finish up with Mike, then Seth, Todd, and Zion.
Yeah, Terry, similar question about Faith, just the challenges that she faced kind of going almost 2 months, only 8 minutes. And then how does that affect you as a coach? You mentioned going small, obviously change your style, but anything that you're kind of nervous about doing, or you have the full confidence in her, as from a coaching perspective, when you have to go to her unexpectedly, what does that do for you?
Well, I think Sid said it best. We talk always about you just never know, right? You just always have to stay ready and be ready when your number's called. And, again, she said it, great. Faith is a kid that comes in, she does extra work, she's in the gym, and in spite of maybe not getting a lot of minutes in Big Ten play, she's a kid that's building for her future, here at Indiana. And, that's what I've really admired about her. Sometimes when kids don't get the time, it's easy for them to choose not to come in that gym every day and try to keep getting better. And Faith has not been that kid. And we've had a lot of them that have come through our program. But really proud of just how she, like I said, just helped us hang on there. And Sid's probably right. The nerves have to, I'm sure they were there for her, especially early. But I think she ended up finally settling in a little bit, and I think realizing that I can play in this game. I deserve to be here, and you have to trust that. You got to trust that. But was there nerves? There's always nerves, Mike. I don't care who's in the game. It's. This is a really great Oregon team. We came up short to them, a couple months ago. We understand this. If you lose today, we go home. And so I don't know that nerves are a bad thing. I think nerves mean that you're ready. And so I thought, like I said, going back to Faith, though, very, very proud of what she was able to do today for us.
Terry, I know you kind of chuckled before when Yarden was talking about the officiating. First, if you have any thoughts on that, but also just what's the challenge for you in kind of managing the foul trouble you all accrued? Obviously, you had to go to Faith with the fouls that Caroline and Lily racked up, but I guess just what's the challenge for you in maybe those on-the-fly adjustments and, how long do I leave Faith in there? How, when, can I put these guys back in with 3-4 fouls? Just what's the challenge for you with balancing all of that?
Well, that's when you have a good staff or a great staff that's over there telling you when you can, because I probably want to get them in a little bit sooner. Again, I think Yarden said it best. It is part of the game. And for us, sometimes you have to adjust, right? Whether or not we agree, we disagree, they got a hard job, the officials. And that was a very physical game. I don't, last thing I'd ever want to do is be an official. But it is hard to try to manage. We haven't been in this situation, right, all year where we've had 2 5s on the bench the way we had today. So, whether it's sometimes in losses, but also in when you can win a game the way we did, you learn a lesson every time you're in between the lines. And, I thought for us, like I said, this is great experience for Faith, as we move on, as she moves on in our program, just to understand that Coach has been saying it, but it really didn't happen. It came true today. that I had to be ready when my number was called.
Okay, finish up with Todd, then Zion.
Terry, the defensive effort off the top of the game. I mean, Sydney talked a little bit about how important it was to come out with that level of effort. Just the psychological effect on Oregon. They're not a high-scoring team in the first place,
Right.
but how pleased were you with the way that kind of transpired at the start of the game?
Well, they may not be a high-scoring team, but where they concern you is how physical they are, right? And so I think my charge for our kids was, look, we're playing against a physical team, an aggressive team. We got to be that too. Like, we have to be strong with the ball. We have to be strong in our cuts. We have to be strong in our entry passes, getting open, and so forth. But we also have to, because Deja Kelly's so good coming off high ball screens, their motion that they run, really puts a lot of pressure on you, whether they're coming off chase action, whether they're coming off of a wide stagger screen or a wide pin down. They're very efficient, although they may not score a lot of points. They can put pressure on you if you're not careful. But again, I put my money on Chloe all the time, right, defensively, that she can guard the best. And I thought Shea did a great job. I thought, Lexi came in again and did a terrific job, and then Yarden. Our guards have to be great defenders because that's who they rely on, even though, when 15 comes in, they're trying to put that thing inside. But for a majority of the time, this team has won because of their guard play.
Okay, last question, Zion.
Terry, I'm not sure if you've had the time this week to go back and watch your game against USC, but just from what you can remember, what needs to be different tomorrow for you to take them down?
Well, I've watched just the first maybe a quarter and a half because we were so focused on Oregon. I do feel like a couple things. We put them at the free throw line too much, so we can't foul. And then we got to be able to hit shots. The quarter and a half that I did see, we got some good shots, just didn't go down. Build a lead, and then we kind of lost the lead because we put them at the free throw line. So what we'll tell our kids, and we tell after every opponent, they don't need your help. So don't quit fouling them. Don't put them at the line. Make them have to earn everything. So, again, it's another shot, at, are they number one right now still? Number two? One of the best teams in the country, that has one of the best players in the country. But Kiki Efron's not too far behind. She's a load, too. So this is a really good USC team. We have a tremendous amount of respect for them. And we know this. It's going to take our very best. Yep.
Coach, thank you
guys
very much.